Greetings, Gman faithful. This is your Commander-in-Chief, Gman, reporting on the Eagles and the Panthers preview on Gman Live. Weekly. Now, a lot of people worried about this game because the Panthers are 5-0. Okay. No arguments there. However, having said that, we got to look at the stat sheet here before we start to anoint this team as, Super Bowl champs already. I mean, you can throw the tape out from last year because last year Cam Newton was banged up with his ankle, so he couldn't really move and do the things he can do this year. Having said that, they still had the players that some of the guys they had last year, this year. Some of those guys are still there. So, Eagles were able to move the ball. The difference really is we're not the same team as we were last year. No Foles, LaShawn McCoy, different receiver. Everything's different on the Eagles side of the football as opposed to what it was on, the Panthers more so. So, keep that in mind. Now, the line right now is 3. It was 3.5. At one point it was 4. Now it came back to 3. And it's going to probably stay at 3. Which tells me that Vegas, it's a wash, by the way, because the home team always gets 3 points. That means Vegas thinks this is even up territory. This is, could go either way. Now, when we look at the biggest things about the Panthers, you got to look at their D. All right? Their defense is their strength. Oddly enough, everyone thinks, well, Cam Newton. It's actually their D that's the strength, led by Luke Kuechly. They have a good linebacker in sometimes I botch the dude's name, Quan Short. So those two guys probably make up like the best linebacking core, maybe in that division, possibly in the conference. When the Eagles get healthy, we might have the best linebacker group. But for now, we'll go with them. They got, I made a mistake there. It's actually, Short is a defensive tackle with Star Lele. They make up probably the best inside presence in that division, possibly in the conference. And then on their linebackers, it's Davis and Kuechly. They probably are the top right now as far as linebackers. Now, as far as their cornerback, Norman, he's probably the best cornerback in the conference. I'm not even going to worry about the AFC because hey, you ain't got to worry about them until you get to the to the big dance. But Norman's probably number 1 quarterback right now. Richard Sherman probably have something to say about that, but yeah, I mean, right now he's playing that good. So whoever's going to line up opposite of Riley Cooper, that dude's going to draw Norman. That's probably going to be Josh Huff, which is fine because Huff has the speed to kind of, take him deep. And the thing is, this is the thing, you haven't heard about this. Guess who the safety is for Carolina? Your own Kirk Coleman, right, and Roman Harper. So, when I look at that team, yeah, okay, so they're good against the run. Now, Jared Allen is their D end. That's a dude I think you can get some sweeps on, all right, because, they're probably going to bring their linebackers up. So everything is up the middle. They stop everything up the middle. So it's going to be hard to get that up the middle run against this team consistently. But we probably will break some. This is a game where speed up the middle will do it for you, a.k.a. Ryan Matthews, Sproles. And then DeMarco on the outside doing a nice sweep. You can go right around Jared Allen. If you get some good blocking out of your receivers and your tight end, yeah, you should be able to get some yards there. I think if you establish the run against this team, you will be able to open up some passing lanes down the field, like 30 yards down the field. Because you got not those little wheel routes might be taken away because Kuechly and Davis can go sideline to sideline. But down the field, yeah, I think this game is won by running the ball and down the field. Now, if good Brad shows up and doesn't throw the 4 picks in the end zone like he's done so far this season, a 1-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, by the way, does not fucking cut it. 9 touchdowns, 9 picks. So that's why he termed now good Brad and bad Brad. Until you get out of that funk, you good and bad Brad. All right, just like Bad Max and good mags. Now, that's the heart of that team that you got to deal with. That's the heart of the Carolina team. If you can establish a run against that team, you can go down the field, and you can test those safeties, by the way, because Roman Harper and Kurt Coleman suck. All right, I mean, Roman Harper's better than Coleman, but you can definitely take advantage of them, especially Coleman. So I'm not expecting the Eagles to put up a lot of points in this game, but I do expect that the Eagles will play more of a max protect. So 2 tight end sets. I'd love it if this team would finally get a fucking fullback. Because then, you really could stop guys like Starley, Tulele, Short, from getting upfield. If you prevent them from getting a rush, you can pick this team apart. Let's take a look at who Carolina has beaten over the past couple of weeks, and then let's see, what kind of lies beneath. Now, opening week, they beat the Jags. Then they beat the Texans. All right. Didn't exactly crush the Texans. Beat them 24-17. Beat the Jags 20-9. Then after that, they beat the Saints by about 4 or 5 points. Okay, we buried the Saints. They beat the Bucs handily, but I expect that. And then they did squeak out a win against Seahawks. But Seahawks are not the same Seahawks that we've seen in previous years. So this Jags team, this Carolina team, are we looking at smoke and mirrors? Or are we looking at they're coming out? From this viewpoint, this team is a little bit of both. A little bit of smoke and mirrors and a little bit of good play. Having said that, take a look at the offensive side. Cam Newton is the man, all right? I'm not worried about Jonathan Stewart. Eagles are going to be able to shut him down. They should be able to shut him down, and it should start early. Like early on when he runs that football, Eagles got to throw him back and establish the fact that the line is theirs. In addition to that, you're talking about wide receivers because they're missing Benjamin. So you're looking at guys like Funchess, Kotri. You're looking at those receivers are like Funchess, whatever you pronounce the dude's name. They got nothing. I'm not worried about those receivers. If we get beat by this team on their receivers, they deserve to lose. Now, the only other guy that really presents a problem is Greg Olsen. I think the Eagles keep that dude in check because I like our linebacker matchup versus them. So, Olsen's going to get his receptions, but I do not think that I'm looking at that saying, oh my God, this Greg Olsen guy going to bury us. No. You got Connor Barwin. I like Jordan Hicks on him. Hell, you know what? Even if Najee Good is running down the field with him, Najee Good got speed. Anyone that can stay with Olsen, and Olsen's not exactly the fastest guy, you can be successful. So yeah, this is going to be one of those back and forth games. Probably the best defense they've seen since the Jets. But they were able to move the ball against the Jets, and they were able to run the ball. The Jets' D-line is better than this D-line. So you did see Ryan Matthews get some good yards against that Jet D. So I firmly expect, and when we're talking on Monday, I fully expect it to be that we're discussing how Ryan Matthews got some runs. So what does that mean? All right, how do we break it all down? As far as the Eagles, we all know what they got to do. On defense, they got to stop the run. Because, and then just cover Olsen, I think. And then, look, if guys like, Ted Ginn Jr., and then Funchess, whatever the dude's name is, sounds like some sort of bacteria infection. And then, Jericho Kotri beat you. Okay, well, hey, then you got to go reevaluate your shit. And your game plan sucked, Billy Davis. That's directly to you. So, wherever you are, there, right there. So, when the Eagles have the football, Bradford can't turn it over. I mean, I know that's like a hard thing to ask. I mean, oh, shit, don't throw a fucking goddamn pick, in the red zone. Better yet, don't throw a pick in the end zone. How about that? 4 so far this year. Wipe that right away, all right? Get rid of that. If Bradford don't turn the ball over and throws for more than 60% completion, you will win this game. So, I'm going to say, if those things happen, you run the ball, Bradford don't turn it over, and has a higher completion percentage, the Eagles will move to 4-3. So, any questions? Anything you want to know? Comments below. And if you like what you see and you want to see more, click here to see more. Let me just update real fast. We're going to do a 2016 college prospects. We're going to have a video on that. segment coming up, 2016 college prospects, quarterbacks. We'll be discussing Boykin from TCU, Goff from Cal, even the little sleeper Rosen from UCLA, Prescott and out of Mississippi, and then Connor Cook out of Michigan State. So stay tuned for that. We'll break that down. One of my subscribers had requested specifically a quarterback one. So Craig, this one is for you. So guys, anything you want to know, put it in the comments below. And if you like what you see and you want to see more, click right here to see more. Pow!